Hello, horror addicts. I'm Kristin Battestella, aka Kbatz, and tonight I'm here to answer your question on what to get for the horror addict who has everything. Being that I'm the Frightening Flix gal at horroraddicts.net, we're going to talk about a couple movie options and some TV shows in which you might be interested in a little stocking stuffers or something, maybe for Christmas, gift giving, and whatnot. It's just easier to go in some chronological order, so I'm going to begin with the Bela Lugosi collection. This is just a small little set, includes a couple movies. It's almost like a Karloff double feature. It has the Black Cat, very good, highly recommend that one. Lugosi did make a couple kind of clunkers, and there are other different sets that tend to have one good movie, and then a lot of some of his filler content when he was very stereotypical and typecast, and in some unfortunate films, let's be honest. But I really think that he's a really underrated performer, and The Murders in the Rue Morgue is also included on here. That's another great one. This Universal Classic Monsters set is a big, huge Blu-ray set. This has all of them, all the monster movies from Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein and Dracula, all the way up to The Phantom of the Opera, the 1943 version. This set also has the 1931 Dracula, has a really awesome restoration on it, and there's a lot of behind-the-scenes content. The Blu-rays of the individual movies also have a lot of the bonus content, and most of that is carried over here, so there's a lot of things on here beyond the movies. It's really awesome to see the restoration of the 1931 Dracula. It looks like a brand new piece. It's absolutely stunning. But also included here is the 1931 Spanish edition of Dracula, which was originally thought lost. A lot of the old films on that nitrate were in very bad shape, and talkies were new, and not only is all the snap, crackle, and pop removed from the 1931 Dracula, but the Spanish one is also completely restored. And to explain a little bit, back when sound first came into film, they didn't dub like we do today for foreign markets. They actually took another crew and another cast and would film the same script in another language, usually for like the Mexican market. And the 1931 Spanish Dracula is a very different piece. It's really fascinating to compare and contrast them together. It seems much more like the 1950s kind of Mexican horror films from like Abel Salazar. There's just this very mix of Catholicism and sin and sensuality with all the vampirism. So it's a very atmospheric kind of creepy kind of piece. So that one's really awesome to see. There's some more behind the scenes documentaries about Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff on here. So this is a really great set. The Universal sets here have been released for a while. There's several different editions of them. If you're more of a Hammer fan, the trouble with Hammer is you kind of have to have a lot of Hammer sets. They did release a big Blu-ray box set in the UK, but it was only a limited edition, and I don't know why we're still having all kind of Region 1 and Region 2 type of video releases in this day and age. But if you're looking for 4 Draculas, they're on one, but 3 Draculas are on another one, and this one has one Frankenstein, and this one has another Frankenstein. So if you're looking for a lot of the Hammer, they're very affordable pieces, maybe like $10 each, and some of them are DVDs, some of them have been released on Blu-ray. You really have to kind of pick and choose and hunt for those. But the Hammer House of Horror is actually a cute little set. Some of these are actually also available on BritBox if you're into looking for some horror streaming options. This was a TV series that Hammer did very briefly. They're hour-long segments. I think the period piece versions are best. Peter Cushing guest stars in some of them. So this is, I wish Hammer had done this more. I don't know why it only lasted one season. So this is slightly obscure, but I have reviewed this at horroraddicts.net, so you can read my reviews on those as well. We've also been talking about Tales from the Dark Side at Horror Addicts. I've also written some more at my own blog, I Think They're Fright Review. There actually is a really funny holiday horror episode on here that it really is about scaring kids, which is kind of nice for us spooky adults. When Christmas is always made about kids, we get to have a little bit of horror with it. But at the same time, this is also a little bit more of a family-friendly set. It's much more of a bizarre, kind of unexplained. There's a lot of little science fiction kind of fantasy elements, and it's very kind of 80s nostalgia. So this set is something that's maybe a little more family-friendly than, say, Tales from the Crypt. Don't get confused. Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side. I've also spoken about these at horroraddicts.net, and these are very affordable, and they're short seasons, so you don't have to go in order. You don't have to get all 7 seasons. 6 and 7 kind of really fall off at the end anyway, but you could pick these up individually if you remember an episode, want to look up what season it is, want to stick this in the stocking. That's a lot of fun. And again, these are the horror for when the adults put the kids to bed. Back in the day, you know, all the scandal of what could be shown on HBO, all the horror, the gore, the sex and the violence was pretty shocking at the time, but this is relatively tame. But there are still some great scares and some really fun, memorable moments in these. There is also the All Through the House. There is the deranged, escaped mental patient Santa horror, which was actually also done back in the 70s. There's a dual set of Tales from the Crypt and the Vault of Horror. They were anthology-style movies where they also have the All Through the House kind of edition. So if you're looking for some evil Santa specifically, you can check out Tales from the Crypt. We've debated at Horror Addicts several times about where the line is between science fiction and horror. Is Alien a science fiction movie? Is it a horror movie? I think it's a horror movie. I love it. I also love aliens. This Alien anthology set has everything that you've ever wanted to know about Alien. The good, the bad. Is Alien kind of lifted from Planet of Vampires? That too, I think it is. There's definitely the similarities. You know, why did they switch from the kind of simmering, kind of lone shit brood of Alien to go all out action in Aliens? What the heck went wrong with Alien 3? How they redid the monsters for Alien 4? That's Resurrection. There's all kinds of storyboards and artwork. I always mess up his name, H.R. Giger. There's deleted scenes, there's analysis of all the puppeteering and the creature design. So not only are the movies here, which you could have fun enjoying and debating and discussing them, but this is a really nice set again because it contains a lot of all kinds of amazing supplemental content to look at. We've discussed this at Horror Addicts on our Facebook community. You can always join us. If you're interested in being part of Horror Addicts staff, we have several open positions and some writing submission calls that you should check out on our blog, or you could always listen to our podcast over again on your nice holiday break. We're gearing up for a big special online writing conference in February 2019. You can check out our blog, horroraddicts.net. Our name is our address for more information on that. And you know, it's such a great privilege and such a blessing to be part of Horror Addicts, to be able to talk to you about nice, spooky, crazy movies and do fun videos and media content like this. So be sure and check out our blog, give us a listen, take part in the community, and tell us what kind of spooky gifts you're giving at horroraddicts.net. So I have a lot of presents to wrap. Okay? Bye.